All right, we made the really pretty drive to the next spot we want to see here on this peninsula. And we're going to switch things up a little bit. Curt is beat from the hike he just did. I'm going to take a short hike without him while he rests in the van. We're going to go up here and see these things that are called Beehive Huts. And they're from like 2000 BC, some of the earliest settlers to Ireland ever. So we're going to take the short walk up here and take a look at these things, and then we'll probably drive a little farther down the road for a campsite. So you can see the van down there. We're parked right along the coast, but way out there in the distance, a little bit covered up with haze, is the tower on the top of the hill that Curt just took you to. And we gotta walk another 150 feet to get up to these things. All right, I am inside the one that still has a roof remaining. This is fascinating. I know it's dark, but I hope you guys can see it. And with me in here, you'll see if I put my arms out, I just about touch the wall if I spin standing in the middle. So they were small, humble abodes for sure. And the doors, I'm going to say, are about 4 feet tall. Wow. So these beehive huts are scattered all over Ireland. These are supposed to be some of the most well-preserved. And this is a set of 3, thousands of years old, built by the original settlers of the Irish island. They're built completely out of stone because stone was plentiful. The size of these huts that we're at now indicate that they were probably each hut was for one family. There's 3 of them here and they're connected. And then they have an outer stone wall that's very thick that was meant to protect, of course, the houses, but also the livestock would be brought in at night to protect them from people that wanted to steal the livestock and or predators. You can also see what they believe may have been fireplaces in some of the huts. Only one of the huts still has the roof on it here. And they took the beehive shape. It was something that for sure was a signature of the time. They did not use any kind of mortar. They're skillfully stacked so that they're solid. And if you look, they slightly go in, so they kind of make like a little cone that gets narrower at the top. And that was meant to shed the water to the outside. So whoever built these was intelligent and was thinking about comfort of their home. Inside some of these, you'll find little rooms, little cubbies dug down in the ground inside of the hut itself. And that was either where they think they would hide valuables or store food. So these are so old that the history wasn't written. So this is all stuff we've kind of just figured out. But this is supposed to be one of the most well-preserved here in Ireland. And it truly is fascinating. So, beehive huts. They're scattered all over the island, so we may see some more of them. But we couldn't be this close to them and not bring you up here to see them. So the sign down bottom says as early as 2000 BC. But then the literature they give us, that's more from the government, says 1200 AD. And there's a cross here, so there is some, maybe some Christian elements. So I'm going to go with, I don't know, we'll say 1200 AD. We'll do some more research and see if we can find out more for you. But we're going to go back down, get in the van. This is just cool. And these may have just been lone farmers, free farmers they were called at the time. But boy, did they have a beautiful view from their home.
All right, river crossing. We are wrapping around the side of the mountain. Cliff face, straight plunge into the ocean. The Atlantic Ocean.
It wouldn't be a smooth landing. Baby lamb. Baby lambs.
This is cool.
Am I okay over there?
Yeah. Stop. You can roll forward.
Tell them to go forward.
Go forward. Go a little bit more. There you go. All right, we're good. Thank you.
Yeah, that van's backing out. Yeah, down on the end is where they say it gets level here. I think that's this one. So we'll go in here and see what we can cut.
Oh, looks like he's got to back out of the whole entire deal.
Maybe this isn't one I have marked.
Good morning, everyone. We have just arrived at our parking spot for the night. If you can look off to the left here, we can see the stone fences for the sheep and some of the old stone buildings along the mountainside here as the land just cliffs off into the ocean, Atlantic Ocean. And then right down there, we have some islands. Now, in the last video, when we were in Dingle, I saw tours that would take you around there. And if there was some puffins out there, maybe even some whales, we probably would have taken that boat trip out there. But we're gonna kind of explore this little area tonight and tomorrow morning before we head on our way. So if you can see, there's a little sandy beach down here amongst the cliffs. People are laying out and taking advantage of the sun because there hasn't been a lot of it since we've been here in Ireland, and we think we're gonna get one more day of this amazing weather. And then I think the clouds and rain are gonna set back in. But I think we could technically, I think we could drive the van all the way down there. We can even turn around down there. And some people do park on that road, but it looks awfully windy. I'll kind of show you where it's at. Yeah, see back there along that cliff. Some people park along that. I think we're gonna stay up top by the cows up here. So naturally the view from outside of the van is better than the view from inside the van.
Maybe.
I gotta tell you, G-Money and Vanna have a pretty good view. Oh, buddy.
Yeah, I know. Look at that. That's good, huh, guys? We are all settled into our perfect free camping spot here on the scenic, I think they call it the Atlantic Wild Way out here on the Dingle Peninsula. We have showered. We have already put our van back to non-shower mode. And Kurt is whipping us up some barbecue pork sliders and a tasty, tasty salad. So it's going to be a good night, and we're hoping for more good weather in the morning, which is when we'll see you. And we'll keep driving along this rugged, beautiful coast. So with that, I hope y'all have a good dinner too. We're going to eat dinner, go to bed. I know it's windy, but I have to stop and tell y'all about how epic this campsite turned out to be, especially this morning. Now I'm trying to block the wind from the microphone, so I'm sorry. But I walked down and took a look at the beach, Walked down the little windy path and stairs. There's a few kids down there playing. Looks like a beautiful beach day place. Well, if you're used to this cold weather. Being a Florida girl, I don't think I'd ever get in that weather. But right behind the van here at our campsite is this big hill. Way up here. And at the very top, there's like 2 hills. Hill number 1's not quite so big. Hill number 2, it's a little bigger. But there's sheep up there. And then when I was coming through, looks like it's private property because it's got a donation box of €1 per person. But on the sign, it says that up here, I think they call it Dunmore Hill or something like that, was where they filmed some of Star Wars, The Last Jedi. So if you're a big Star Wars fan, see if you can recognize this place we're walking up to. Now I stopped here on a little rock, maybe 50 feet up the hill, and called Kurt to let him know I was going up. He was still chilling in the van. So he's gonna come up and join me. He had no idea I was gonna try to climb this little hill. Well, to me it's a mountain, but I'm gonna try. I know I can get at least to the first little hill. We'll have to see if I can get to the second one. But it's so pretty here, and we had a really nice night. Although it did get really windy in the middle of the night. Not quite to the extent of some of the Patagonia wind that we encountered when we were in South America in the van. But it was enough to wake us up. And it's still windy this morning. So I'm sure glad Kurt flew the drone last night. But with that, my little break here is done. I'm gonna walk another 50 feet and take another break. May take me a long time, but I'm getting up at least hill number 1. Let's go, guys.
I've never been known for my cautious side. You should know that I'm well aware. I don't want anything left untried. Will you come with me, mon cher? So let us just do my love and not stop thinking of this over. So let us just do my love and see where this road will take us now.
All right, I've made it to the top of hill number 1. And there's an obstacle course for us to get to hill number 2. But look who's joining me. There he is. Curdy caught me. But it looks like we got to climb over this fence to get up to hill number 2. Looks like they have some little rock steps built. I'm gonna let Kurt go first.
And then you see on the other side there?
Woohoo! This rock moves, just so you know. Not a bunch, but it's wiggly.
All right, a couple quick details. The van's back over there, down past the lambs and down past the cows. And you can see down past the van is the beach and the waves and the beautiful cliffs and, well, the patchwork of sheep pastures. And I'm walking across the sheep pasture. You've been with me in Snow, so you've already seen the other view. But I decided to kind of cut across here and look at new territory. Now, yesterday I popped up the drone, and I gotta tell you, this place is just breathtaking. But from over here, we can see yet some bigger cliffs. We can see some sheep farms down the hill, and that's the way we're gonna continue today. So there's a couple really other cool things that we wanna do up that way, and we're gonna do it today. And the good news is We got beautiful sunshine today. It got windy last night. It was rocking and rolling the van, but we had us a good spot. We really enjoyed this spot. If I'm being honest, I didn't sleep great, but I don't think it had anything to do with this spot. But happy Snow's making it up the hill up here. I'm going to kind of trek back to where she is, and we're going to continue up. There's some islands out there, and I've seen them from the drone. They're stunning, so I think we're going to have a really good view out here. All right, we met some really cool people on the trail. We took pictures. Where are you guys from?
We're the Corcorans, and we're from the Isle of Man.
All right, from the Isle of Man. We haven't been there yet. We need to go. Nice to meet you guys. Awesome.
Cheers, guys.
This is really pretty up here. The light's hitting her. I should have brought the drone. I almost did. It's so cool.
I don't know where we'll go, what life holds for us, but I know where we've been. Coast to coast, sun and snow, it's all go to us, and it don't matter in the end. Hey, hey, what a beautiful day.
Wow, that is just absolutely incredible. And you can see how this peninsula just dots out into a series of islands. So many out there. And these jaggedy rocks. And this beautiful green grass. And you can see back there, Snow's gonna rest while I go up here and look at this deal. It was cool. I was coming up here and the guys we met on the way, they already made it down out there. So I saw them, I yelled at them, and I snapped a quick picture of them. But they're going all the way on that peninsula. I'm still heading up here to this stone.
I am celebrating. I made it not only to the top of hill number 2, which I honestly didn't think I'd make, but I wrapped around the corner a little bit to see if I could go farther. But Curt's heading on. If you look, there's more elevation. I just don't have a third hill in me. But we met that cool family on the trail, and we quit filming and they started telling us some cool stuff, and it turns out Tony, one of the adults, is actually a tour guide here in Ireland, and he was laying the knowledge bombs on us big time. He was awesome, he was amazing, and he said that in this region of Ireland, the most important thing for us to see is something called an ohm stone. I think it's O-H-N or something, O-H-M, but we'll have to look that up and see. And he told us that they go back to, I think he said like the 5th, 6th, and 7th centuries, and that they're kind of like land markers showing who owned the land. And there'll be this big tall stone with an ancient like Irish language on them with lines and bars, and he knew so much about it, telling us how they read some of the letters to the right, some to the left, and the way they date them is that they look back and some of the letters are used that didn't exist before that or after that. But so based on the letters that are used to write the name of the property owners and stuff, then that's how they determine how old it is. Like an example would be if it said, you know, Tom owns this land, T-O-M, but then it's later said Tommy owns this land, T-O-M-M-Y, and Y didn't exist. You know, so they use the letters, the development of new letters as a way to date these things. And you also can see some of them that'll be like generational. So down on the bottom, it'll be the guy that first owned it. And as he left it to his descendants or whatever, it starts adding more names. So fascinating, cool little history. We will definitely be on the lookout for them. He says you can find them around Ireland, Scotland, and even in England. But over in England, they still have the Irish language on them. So he was full of such cool knowledge, and that was awesome for him to take the time.
I just got up to the stone up there. It was pretty cool. I didn't see any writing on it though. Maybe I misunderstood. But in any event, I saw those guys down here, and I started heading this way, and the hikers said, this is the end of the world right here. So in Ireland, apparently, this is the closest point from here. Once you get off this, then you go to New York. Now, I don't know that that's true, but in any event, we were definitely at the end of the world in Argentina, and this is, I think, a point of significance in terms of how far, I guess, west it is. It always makes me a little nervous to get up along these cliff's edges, but you're always rewarded with such beautiful views. That's pretty cool. This is a nice easy downhill, but I'm gonna pay for it on the way up. But look at this, guys. It's just, the stunning looks just keep going and going and going. I just messaged Snow and told her that this was the end of the world. And I think I see our other friends down there. And so I think I'm gonna have to go down there and check it out.
Curdy is returning. I think it took a little longer than he thought. But to be real honest with you guys, I laid down on this rock in this beautiful spot and just chilled. So he could have taken as long as he wanted and I would have been just fine. But he's almost back to us. And then we'll make the trip to the van. What a great way to start the day.
Woo! That turned into a little bit of a fire drill there. So Snow and I were coming down the hill after meeting up, and it looked like the van was blocked in. So I hurried up and ran down there, and fortunately the people were kind of there. Super cool. We ended up meeting more lovely people. We met so many, everywhere we go. We love the people in Ireland. We meet so many cool people. But they let us out. We had to whip it out quick, and we are on the road to our next spot. And it is just an absolute gorgeous day. And Snow's at the wheel again. She's turning into an Irish driver.
So now that we're on this scenic Atlantic Wild Way, the tourist drive, there are pull-offs everywhere. Now it's a beautiful sunny day, so I think all the locals are added to the tourists coming out and enjoying this blue sky, which isn't normal here in Ireland from what we understand anyway. But we've pulled off at a stop just a few miles up the road, and the cliffs are getting more and more rugged. The water here in this little, going up towards this beach, which I believe they call strands here in Ireland. Beaches are strands, but it is beautiful here. I mean, I could just stop at every one of these pull-offs and take it all in, but that'd take weeks. So we're picking and choosing ones where there's actually room for the van to pull over. But it's about time to head back to the van, walking up through these rocks and this green grass with the wildflowers everywhere. overlooking these cliffs. So as we go a little bit farther north, we start to get into the cliffs of Moher, which is a famous destination here in Ireland. And I'm sure it will be much more crowded than the Dingle Peninsula. So we're enjoying not having tons of people. But don't worry, we're taking you up there to that famous place. Be a few more days before we get there though. Right now, we're just enjoying the Dingle Peninsula. A little hidden gem here in Ireland.
All right, we're out exploring and we found a little restaurant kind of out here in the middle of the countryside. So we're gonna go see what it's all about. So is this your house right here, this big rig?
Huh?
Is this rig your house?
No.
Oh.
Hi, puppy.
Well, that's my house. That's where I live.
It's our house when we are not here.
There you go.
Oh, that's a nice rig right there.
Yeah.
All right, we decided to look for a restaurant, and I put it in the Google Maps, and the first one that popped up we put in. And as we got closer, we discovered what a cool little hidden gem we just found. I believe it's Daniel here. He's got a rig that it sounds like he travels in from time to time, but this is just a little area in the yard next to his house out here on the Dingle Peninsula with these beautiful cliffs in the background. But Kurt's going to show you. His little kitchen is like a little tiny pull-behind trailer. He's got a grill. He's got picnic tables. He's got a little space to pull off. Just a really cool thing. So we ordered the vegetable soup, and he said a lot of the vegetables came from his garden. It looks like his garden's right behind the trailer here. And bratwurst. So an adventure for lunch today out here in the middle of the Dingle Peninsula. It couldn't have worked out any better.
Thank you, sir.
Easy peasy.
This is
Thanks, sir.
delicious.
It is, yeah. Enjoy.
What a nice little stop. That's what we did. We gave up stuff. Food and diesel.
Yeah.
Food and diesel.
Yeah. These are things.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was lovely meeting you. Very interesting.
Thank you, sir.
And,
You're good back here? All right. You can back up if you need to. Ooh, okay. Bye, ladies. So while we were eating there at that fun little stop off of a restaurant, lots of people started walking in, and we found out that we are on what is called the Dingle Way, a long walking trail. The ladies we talked to from Canada said they were on a 5-day walk, and then yesterday they walked 17 miles.
And Mike and Betsy did this trail.
Yeah.
They said they did one in the Dingle, and I bet it's this one right here.
And Mike and Betsy. Mike is Kurt's cousin that spent some time with him in Albania, and we met up with them in France, so you may remember them if you follow our journey. But they're travelers that do the long-term walks as well. But very friendly people that do those walking trails, aren't they, Kurt?
Yeah, look at that daddy.
Out in the distance from here, some of you that are Star Wars fans may see an iconic landscape. Now, at that last place we were at, our campsite from last night, there was definitely signage that said it was a Star Wars filming site. Now, I overheard a tour bus driver telling the people when they were getting off the bus that these raggedy, pointy, all pointed in one direction cliffs that we're driving by right now were from one of the Star Wars movies as well. So once again, all you Star Wars fans out there, tell us if that tour bus driver was right. The original plan was to head to a campsite in the city tonight and start laundry and stuff. But I think we have to take advantage of this good weather. So our plan is first to find water. And we think we found a place where we can do that. We'll know soon. And then second, see if we can find one more really pretty place to camp on this coastline out here. Because tomorrow the weather's rolling in. And we might as well do laundry when it's bad weather. So that's what we're up to. We need water. All right, we made it to our water point. Someone has drug a thing out here that you can use, and you put donations in the mailbox. So we're gonna get water. Woohoo!
Probably need to hold it.
Okay, now we found this place on Park for night. And looks like it might be a good one.
We got another amazing camp spot here. Wow. Right up in front with these beautiful views. And we have these little trails here, which is nice. Because at the last spot, it wasn't the best spot for G Money and Vanna to walk. We got them out for a little bit. But I think once they get settled in, they'll like this place a lot better. Vanna has been loving Ireland. I don't know what it is in the grass, but she's been frolicking around. And G, I don't know. He hasn't decided yet. But he likes his outside time. And I like my outside time with him. Good boy. Good boy. Look how amazingly clear this water is. Wow. I think I'm a Florida boy and that would be really cold for me. But the people here from Ireland said it's good. I think they got thicker skin than me. But anyway, this guy's gonna go out and see if he can catch a bass. And there's kids playing and there's sandy beaches around and rocky cliffs. There's a fishing boat out there in this beautiful crystal water. And man, we have an amazing camp spot. We're gonna just enjoy this place for a little while.
To wind out our time here on the Dingle Peninsula, we have found the perfect little secret camp spot out here at what looks like maybe a locals only type beach area. Now we're on the north side of the peninsula, looking across a harbor at a little town with a little beach over there, and in the distance we can see the people over there playing. We got fishing boats anchored out here in the middle. We just spotted some dolphin, but I didn't get the camera out in time to get them. Got a few little birds, and of course we get to watch the waves splashing up against these rugged black rocks, surrounded by this thick, mushy, lush green grass, and the epic views of the cliffs and the coastal mountains just off in the distance. And it's quiet. I think this campsite will be protected from the wind. I don't think we could ask for a better spot to hang out for the rest of our time here in Dingle.
We just really have been welcomed by the people of Ireland, and it's been so nice. And as we were sitting out here on this beautiful park spot, we were able to sit there and watch the sunset, and it was just some really peaceful time. But we were sort of hanging out the next day, doing some editing and just sort of enjoying the space. And there was a little tap on the door, and this little sweet lady came by, and she had a flat tire. Now, a flat tire would not be a big deal at all, and I was grateful, glad to be able to help her out. But the problem is she didn't have a tire iron to take the lug nuts off, and she didn't have the right piece to put the jack up. So there were some other people there. Well, first of all, we tried our stuff, which didn't fit her stuff, which kind of makes sense. We have a big van. She had a little car. And there were some people nearby, and they were kind, and they loaned us their jack. But again, it didn't fit. Long story short, I had to pull everything out of the back to get to my bigger tools, sockets, and things like that, where I had something that would work. And we were able to get her tire changed for her. And, she was very grateful. First of all, it was a Sunday. So getting somebody to come out there would have been next to impossible on a Sunday. Also, we were quite far from Dingle, which is where the actual town where the support of the help would have come from. So all around, it was really best that we could get this done. Now, we got her Get Me Home tire on and snugged it up, and she was able to get down the road and get on to the next place for her. And she was grateful, and she was just a really sweet lady. We were happy we were able to sort of return the favor to some of the Irish people who've extended their hospitality to us.
Oh, no. Oh, we haven't, don't worry. Okay, guys, along our journey, we've had lots and lots of people pop in and help us in times of need. And you may know that the campsite we're at right now is pretty remote, and no mechanical help would be anywhere around. Well, the sweet lady we just met, her name is Helen. She had a flat tire parked right next to us. And she was missing some parts to change that tire. So Curt drug everything out of the back of the van. And we have got Helen back on the road.
Snow and Curt, I just want to teach you 3 words. A trinity of words, okay? And they sum up how I feel right now after you've done this for me. My hand is shaking a little bit because I'm just so relieved. So I will say to you, on van,
On van.
buicas. So on means you the man.
I like that
He
one.
likes that one.
And on van means you the woman.
I like that one. That's my favorite.
Buicas. It's spelled B-U-I, and with a little kind of hat and B-U-I father, O-C-H-A-S. Buicas.
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 There's a kiss at the end, okay? Buicas.
Buicas.
And that means thank you. I never realised a kiss at the end until just,
It's just now. No, that'll help us remember it.
Isn't it a beautiful word?
It is a beautiful word. All
I
right.
really can't thank you enough.
No, thank you. We were happy to help. Drive safe
Just
going home,
look
okay?
at this little tire. Take
Yeah.
one look at it before you get on the road. Just baby it. This is a baby
No, I
tire.
will. I'm gonna
We
be
call, I don't know
very
what you
gently.
call these, but in the US we call these get me home tires.
And that's all they're for.
Yeah.
And that's all it's for.
Yeah,
And it'll
no.
get you home. Just baby it. It'll do fine.
So those were 3 beautiful words Helen taught us. She is safe. She's got her get me home tire on. She is headed home. It's a Sunday. Tomorrow she'll go straight to the garage, get her tire fixed, and get the parts she needs. So the Irish people have been beautiful to us. And I'm happy we were here to help. Well, I'm happy Curt was here to help. And she's on her way. With that, we're spending a couple of more days. Well, we spent last night here. We'll spend one more night here. Just editing, enjoying the view. It's peaceful, it's quiet. We're not in anyone's way. And then we'll be heading to a campsite because it's time to do laundry. So we'll see y'all in the morning as we go find some laundry machines.
Do you know where I am today? Today I'm at Kirkagwina, where the first person landed in this land. Before it even had the name Ireland, her name was Kesser of the Fair Hand. She came from the land of Meroes, modern-day northern Africa, with 3 times 50 women. When the world was underwater at that great flood, they sailed for 7 long years. 2 of the boats crashed and drowned, but she survived and she came. And when she saw the Emerald Island she'd seen in her dreams, she salmon leapt and landed, the first person to ever land here. And the island itself sprung up 3 lakes to welcome them, filled full with forests and wild game to sustain our people. They lasted some time, but we don't remember. We don't know their customs, their languages, or their ways. They were wiped away with tide and with time. But we remember her name, Kesser of the Fair Hand, who came long ago.
Are you kidding me? That doesn't sound warm. That sounds very cold to me. That sounds so cold. I've never heard water that sounds colder. Oh. That is straight craziness.
Suddenly I don't care that it's raining.
You're gonna get wet.
If you like this video, Be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you guys know when we put out new videos. And don't forget, you can always follow us over on Instagram to see what's going on in between videos. Cheers, guys!